Hello there, and welcome to High on the Bookshelf with Barb and Simi. I'm Barb.
And I am Simi, and we talk about books where women are strong and men are dreamy.
So, hello everyone, we're gonna talk today again about ACOTAR series, and we're gonna talk a lot about Wingspans, right?
Grab your headboards, ladies, because things are gonna get hot.
Yeah, so this episode is gonna be a little bit more spicy than the last one. But you know, it's like with these books, they're getting spicier and spicier until you get to this one where the storyline is... You don't care about the storyline anymore, right?
I like what you say, like the plot is just pure excuse for the smut.
It is, and especially in the last book, and I'm like so excited about the next books because, well, in the book it said that they think that Azriel has the biggest wingspan, right? And Azriel is still to have his own book, and I'm just curious, like, who is gonna end up with?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about various ships there are, and I think like Azriel is, well, obviously since he's the last bad boy without a mate, there are a lot of options. Some are intriguing, some are batshit crazy, pun intended, and I strongly believe we will learn about his love life much more in the following book.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think that everyone deserves their own book, right? Like, even the like smallest characters, we just want to know what's gonna happen there.
Oh, I want to really read, like... Okay, and I know I bitch a lot about Court of Frost and Starlight, because it's a Christmas special episode. Book. Novella. But I would trade it, like, anytime about... novella about Bryaxis roaming the
Yeah,
Fritian.
what the hell happened there with her, right? Like, she was like, oh, have you heard, like, where is Bryaxis? Like, we're going to first search for her.
Feyre was supposed to hunt down Bryaxis, right?
Yeah.
And bring him back to the
Him or
library.
her?
Her. Was
Yeah.
her?
Yeah, I think she sounded like female to me. That's a pick up.
I don't remember, so I'm gonna go with them. Feyre was supposed to hunt down Bryaxis, but Feyre got pregnant, so she's not hunting down. And with the little kid, I don't think she's hunting down Bryaxis anytime soon.
Yeah, we know, when you have a baby or a toddler, you have to give up your hunting for a while.
Honestly, I believe like at some point, Feyre is like, oh my god, I'd rather be hunting Bryaxis than taking care of the Nyx.
Yeah, what the hell was she thinking?
Let's
not go there.
No, honestly, yeah, there are days I would totally trade Bryaxis for my kid.
Yeah, well, I get you. We have toddlers. We know. Like, yeah, like catching cereal. I mean, like, come on. Easy day for me.
Try to catch a toddler who just decided that they are not taking their bath or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Let's not go there. That's a rabbit hole. The topic. But let's go back to Wingspans and the sex scenes. So, I mean, like, we had a lot of them in this book. So, I just want to know, which one was your favorite?
This is a difficult question. I mean, I enjoyed some of the scenes in Court of Silver Flames. Mm-hmm. Especially the one that grabbed the headboard. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
Well...
But I am romantic at heart, so I will go with chapter 55 of Court and Mist and Fury. Well, after the like entire chapter of Rhysand's profession of love, there's this crazy sex all over the cottage. Mm-hmm. I think that was my favorite because there was like a lot of this emotional connection between them. So I guess that would be like my top.
Mm-hmm. Now for me it's also top. But honestly I like also the one like some with Tomlin. Well, yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think there is a lot of sexual tension in the scene when he comes back from Kalmai.
Oh yeah.
And pins Feyre. And there is like nothing really going on yet. He bites her in her neck, in her neck. But still, there is like a lot of tension, a lot of, I don't know,
Yeah. I get you.
something.
I like it. And like that there were actual scenes, and I think the timeline is pretty interesting.
In that department, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I'm not looking down at him as many other people. I see potential in the guy. I see a lot of potential. So I mean, and when we get to the last book, where the storyline basically being excused for Nest and Cassian hooking up together.
Oh my god, there was this scene when they were sitting by the table and they were eating, and suddenly Nesta goes down on Cassian, and then Azriel walks in. I was like, awkward.
Well, he knew what he's coming into.
He had to smell it, right? Because Faye and Illyrians as well, they have this super sense of smell. So I'm pretty sure he knew what was going on.
Well,
there.
yeah, but he did it on purpose, because he's kind of a chaperone there.
He's the worst chaperone ever. I mean, ever.
Yeah, it really didn't work out, right? But when you are talking about their ability to smell this kind of stuff, that's so weird, because you cannot hide anything, they're smelling your emotions. Then they have to know if you're lying or not. And now I imagine myself going meeting those bad boys. I don't think they would smell anything else from me. So I was just like, oh my god.
And they were like, another one.
Get her out of here. But when we're talking about Nest and Cassian and his wingspan, let me read from the book. It's page 288. Yeah, in this book. And and I want to ask, before I start reading, what the fuck is wrong with Sarah and her obsession with massive cocks? Right? I'd like to know, what her husband think about it. Because, Cassians, they are not that... common. That's the first thing. And second thing is, it's just.
I mean,
not
why? Also, how? But mostly why?
Yes. So yeah, we were curious about. I'm not sure. Is Sarah married or?
Yeah. She's married to her college sweetheart or something.
Yeah. So maybe he's like Cassian or he might feel very weird reading his books. So his cock was enormous, beautiful and hard, and absolutely enormous. Her mouth dried out. Every plan she had requiring sudden reassessment. There was no way he would fit entirely in her mouth. Perhaps no way he would even fit in her body. Well, she would die trying. I mean, I was reading this, and to me, it wasn't that hot reading it. To me, it was immediately dislocated jaw. And yeah, so she can
going through all possible injuries, and how you're gonna explain that during the ER session?
Yeah, and I mean,
physician, what's very wrong with you?
Yeah, and I mean the biological, when I'm brushing my teeth and I get too far. It just,
It's called gagging reflexes.
Or, I mean, I read somewhere, I heard that there's some certain sprays, that can actually, you can put it in your throat and then you don't feel anything and then you don't have the gag reflex.
Okay.
They didn't have it back then. So I mean, I read actually a couple of, I think, Reddits, some subreddits about that some women are not excited about reading because they feel the pain already, Because,
I mean, it really requires a lot of you have to position yourself.
Not just position, you have to be biologically fit to do that because it's
also
if you didn't
very
know.
much lubricated because
Yes. But I mean, with Cassian, I think that naturally lubricate a lot. But when we are talking about it, if you didn't know, also as males are built differently, also are women, it's just I don't think I could biologically have something with Cassian as he was described. I think, like, but then again, like, Rhysand apparently has a smaller wingspan because Feyre didn't have this problem.
Maybe Feyre is built in a way she can accommodate
Yeah, that's possible.
The wingspan.
Maybe that's why she didn't want to comment on it because, well, it's usual.
Just another Friday for me.
And then she did for Tamlin. It was also like described like quite large. Right? Let's say she was still human. She wasn't a fae,
Well, but again, if you have a man with different sizes, women also have different sizes.
Yeah. And I mean, like, when we're still talking, you know what sticked in my mind when she.
That's just like a very unfortunate selection of words.
When she saw Cassian and Azriel fighting, and then she immediately pictured herself between them.
But come on, you would do the same thing.
Well, I immediately pictured myself I was reading and but then I didn't know yet about the size. Yeah, and now the thing is like bigger. I think that that's not. I would die.
Like I like you, but
no.
This ain't gonna
Thank
work.
You, but but yeah. So yeah, Sarah, tell us. What's behind?
Why the big cock?
Yeah, I mean like. Yeah, why that big? I mean, not big. Why that big? It's just like the next day I was, cleaning zucchini, and I was wondering, like, it's even bigger than this.
Yeah, like sometimes you are holding like a rather large cucumber, thinking like, okay, that's way too big.
Thankfully we end up there because there are people who are like, okay, let's try. And but it's serious. Like, I mean, like, when I'm, I follow Instagram some doctors who are working in ER.
Oh my god, the stuff they had to pull out from people's vagina and anus.
Yes, a lot of different stuff. And actually, cucumbers is not the worst thing.
Yeah. I heard about Barbies and I don't know what was the weirdest stuff.
I don't know. Oh my god, I just don't want to go there because I heard even like, but there's some disorder, sexual disorder. You know what some people are doing? I don't want to tell you.
No, you have to.
There are some people who are putting living animals inside, like rats, because they like the pain. Because the rats are trying to escape, and they're biting you there. They can actually kill you, probably. And yes, there are people who are doing that, and I read about it, and I'm disturbed since then.
Thank you. Now I am.
There you go, the visualization. I think we're gonna cut it. Because, man, I couldn't sleep after. I was like, no, there are people like that. No,
thank you.
No.
I'm not sleeping tonight. And not for the good reasons.
No. I am. No, let's cut this out.
Okay. I'm gonna need a minute. I think. It just looks so weird.
People are doing a lot of weird shit, And I had this colleague in my work. I mean, not that she was doing that. But she knew people who were doing stuff, like weird stuff. And she knew on YouTube, like, oh my, she sent me once video, like glued, and I was like, no, don't send me this. I don't want to hear about these people. I just want to live in my fairy tale land, like when you don't put living animals.
The worst thing you have to do is fuck a huge cucumber.
Yes, I mean, like, go ahead. No, don't. I mean, it can break and you can end up in ER, and they will. Then you have to explain, like, why. Yeah, there are things you can buy, and they are safe and don't have bacteria and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, like, when we were talking about this favor, I think, I'm not sure if we were talking about it in the last episode, but what I enjoy about it, they don't have STDs. They don't have to worry at all.
Well, Barb, this is the topic we covered in each episode, by the way. Do you have a trauma story you want to share?
No, I don't.
Of course.
No, but I mean, like when I'm reading, and there is this 500-year-old, and they're all praising him for being very skilled and everything. In my mind, go, okay, so it means that he bedded a lot of women, and in my head, it's like, oh my god, what they had to experience all the way. I mean, like, there is no statistical chance that there would be nothing, there had to be something. But since it's a favor, apparently there are no STDs. Yeah, so then you are 20 and you don't have to worry sleeping with 500-year-olds.
Oh, the worst thing that happens is you get pregnant.
Yeah, but
which
it's
is
very
also
rare.
It's very rare. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry unless you're Faye, right? Get pregnant like this. I mean, yeah, she wanted to enjoy life, and there it goes. But then again, like, they are, like, immortals. You know, she's gonna live for hundreds of years, so she's gonna survive those 20 years and then just let
go live her life.
yeah. You know, and then she still has like so many years. But you know, isn't it weird that like your son or your children or grandchildren, they look all the same? So how do you know, like, you know, how do you distinguish between people and between generations? Because, like, for example, when we were thinking about Aerys and his father, the king of
They
Autumn,
kind of like look the same, right?
yeah, they look like siblings. So it's just, isn't it weird? And
maybe in their society, asking like, "Excuse me, how the fuck old are you?" is just a polite, normal thing, or maybe they just don't care. Like how? I mean,
yeah, but then it means like you can experience, first of all, like the daddy, granddaddy, and his child, and they're all, you know,
like experience in the biblical way. Are you collecting some families like Pokemon?
I don't know. And when we're talking about sex, I would like to open also important topic here. We had a lot of sexual violence in this.
Oh,
books.
yeah.
And it's interesting that it was also portrayed. I mean, like there were these victims of rape who were nuns, right?
Yeah,
in the library.
Priestesses in the library.
Yes, priestesses in library. And how they were dealing with trauma, and some of them like were not able to, you know, they didn't even want to go out to see the light. And then we have also this is the first time I'm actually reading about this. No, actually, it's not the completely first time I'm reading about it in books, but we had here sexual violence on men. It's not very common.
It's not really a topic you come across very often.
Yes.
And I think it's important. Yet again, it's kind of bringing that issue into attention and making you aware of sexual assaults happening when men are the victims.
Yeah, and I mean, usually like hear about like man victim to a man, but it's happening that it's a man victim to a woman, and it's, I mean, it's more rare, but it's not that rare.
Yeah,
because it's, I think, out of like around 3 or 4% of all sexual violence goes to men, and I mean, it sounds like little, but when you think about the real numbers, it's a lot. Yeah, and I personally know some people who that happened to.
Oh,
you know?
Really?
Yeah. So, and you know, in the country where we live. It's actually, you cannot sue a woman for raping a man.
What?
Yeah, it's in our legal system. It's only man raping a woman, and it has to contain, there has to be violence. So, and that's not happening always because most women freeze. That's your most natural reaction.
Obviously. And like, well, I'm not really sure I wanna get really into our legal system and how it actually not helps at all.
But it's in many countries.
Yeah, but we are not the only one country with fucked up system and not really helping victims of sexual assault. Yeah. And yes, it was basically Amarantha, and she was doing that to Rhysand, and she was also pursuing Tamlin, right?
Oh yeah.
But also Ianthe, right?
Ianthe.
And she is the sexual predator there, and she's using everybody, right? But also she assaulted Rhysand, and then she was going after Lucian. Like, she really cannot take no for an answer, right?
Yeah, I was like so excited when Feyre actually, you know, get there, you know, saved Lucian and actually punished her. And then when she got her to Weaver Cottage, I really enjoyed that part. Like, and she was like really, really annoying character. And
She had it coming all the way.
But yeah, man, I was glad that I saw that, you know, being there in these books, because I think it's important, you know, to recognize all forms of violence, because no is no, no matter what gender you are, or, you know, who is involved. And, you know, also like talking about it when you're a woman, people understand it better, you know, but if you are a man and this happened to you, how are gonna other men react? You know, like, do you have somebody you can talk to about that? You know, like when you think about it, they were like, oh, you're lucky.
They're gonna face a lot of ridiculing and and downplaying
Yeah.
the seriousness of the situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's really that. But then again, like, that's the issue why we were mentioning it also in one of the past episodes, that there is a much higher suicide rate with male men, because they are not taught to express their emotions, they're from the early age, boys don't cry, you're suffocating that. And it's just like building up to the point when you just don't have,
Yeah, like you don't have a healthy way to deal with your emotions, and
the depression
and
creeps in.
it can backfire.
Yes,
Like really badly.
Yes, so take care of your mental health, and thank you, Sarah, for actually mentioning this here, and also thank you for not being graphic, because I just want to mention like different books, like in Outlander there was also sexual violence, and it was extremely graphic there, and it was like really painful to read, and even in series it was very painful to watch,
Okay.
So here it was mentioned, and you don't have to live through it with the victim in the book.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. So, and let's go to something more positive. And let's talk about this weird trio in Inner Cycle.
Yeah, the dynamics between Cassian, Azriel, and Morrigan.
I mean, it's been like centuries, and they apparently cannot communicate.
Which you would expect, like, after like 500 years. Of course, you can push down your emotions for a long time. Some people do it
Yes,
their
but-
whole life, but 500 years is
A lot.
a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
yeah, that's what we get, right?
Yeah.
So, and just to sum up the situation, Azriel is in love with Morrigan, who is lesbian or bisexual at least, but mostly like she feels like she can have like sexual relationship with men and women, but really that emotional relationship can be only built with a woman. And there is poor Cassian there in the middle, acting as a, like, what was the word, like buffer between Azriel and Morrigan, and for some reason everybody's okay with that situation.
Yeah, and pretending is nothing happening. And I know that Morrigan, she doesn't want to get out of the closet yet. But
And that's perfectly okay.
it's okay, but I mean, like, after 500 years with the people who are closest to you, you don't trust them enough. You know what I mean? Because it's been like so long, and they were so close like this, like they trust each other with their lives. I'm sure that like Reese, Cassie, and Azriel, they would never, ever, ever betray her.
And what is also funny thing is that the relationship with Feyre is like really short one compared to the one with the rest of the inner circle. But for some reason, she feels much more comfortable sharing that kind of emotion, or that kind of information with her, rather than with people who are kind of directly involved in the issue. I'm not saying you can't do that. I just feel like maybe I'm not having enough information to understand her choices, and
that's
that's why it baffles me a lot. And I really usually, even when I don't agree with certain choices, I try to like put myself in their shoes and kind of like think why they are doing the thing they are doing. Like, for example, I'm not agreeing at all with Tamlin's choices, but I feel like I have enough information to understand why he did the thing he did.
Yeah.
But with this situation, I just don't have that information, and yet again, I'm very much confused.
Yeah, me too. And like, if I were Azriel, like, after so many years, like, you either give up or just go and like ask, like, why the fuck,
Also, Azriel probably knows. He's fucking spy master.
Yeah, I mean, like, how could he not know? Like, she had a relationship with the queen back in the day. She tried to escape to her.
He's fucking spy master.
Yes, I mean, yes. Yeah, and she just tricks him with Helion. No, I mean, that's...
I mean, either he is a very bad spy master, or he is a very good and denial.
yeah, and he maybe thinks, she might be bisexual, but, it can mean, like, you can be with man and woman, so she can lean to me eventually, but come on, get the hint, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's been too long, and that's kind of weird to me. And you know, like when we mentioned Feyre, it's funny like how she hates being controlled, but she doesn't mind, you know, putting her nose in other people's business and trying to. She was so extremely pushy. She was still bringing this up. I understand, like, it annoys you, but like,
I mean, honestly, I understand that because I would be bringing it up also because you're like children, you're fucking 500-year-old adults. Deal with life.
yeah, but you know, like she used to be a human, and they mention it in the book that what takes humans few years, it takes them decades because like they know they have like all time in the world, so they are not like.
Oh yeah.
Morrigan
is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna tell them, or like, oh, actually, let's wait a couple of more decades. Like, no rush.
Yeah, maybe next century.
Maybe next century. Not this one.
Yeah, Morris. Yeah, and I love her as a character. She's like very, very sweet.
I like about her that self-confidence. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, and she dresses in the way that accentuates her attractiveness, her curves. I mean, like she is that girly girl you want to be friend with. And I know we discussed that in the past episodes, but usually when you have the female main character, she's not your typical girl, right? And we meet a lot of typical girl characters here in this series, also in other series written by Sarah J. Maas.
Let's just say, like, let's not go into the point like this is a typical girl, you know, like let's not build the stereotypes because like we are all different, you know. But like the stereotypical, let's call it like that. That there is never a stereotypical girl like that.
But you know, more she enjoys pretty things. She enjoys taking care of herself, dresses. Circling back a little bit to the tree of weirdness, Cassian buys more lingerie. And like in the
he likes to buy it for her, and she likes to buy that stuff for him too. Because he's a buffer, you know, he's trying to, you know, like look at he's interested, and so this Azriel is not getting.
I'm sorry,
it's just like
I cannot wrap my mind
trial.
around it. It's
and
just
I mean, like if they wanted, if it was like that, they could live in a polyamorous relationship.
And
why the hell
everything?
not? Yeah, we want to read about those, right?
Yeah. Please, sir, take back that this little book.
Yeah,
and give us something else.
No, I mean, like, well, but maybe we'll see it in the future, you know, with Azriel, Elain, and Lucian. For example, they could be a trio.
Maybe. Actually, my headcanon is that Lucian is currently living in the human lands with Vasa and Jurian, and they are kind of a polyamorous relationship. If not polyamorous relationship, they are at least like having some kind of orgies there.
Well, maybe. Hopefully. So yeah, like we want to see like different setups in relationships because it's usually, you know, these heterosexual relationships and few lesbian or gay couples. But yeah, like
give us more variety.
We want to read it. We want a graphic. We want you to get graphic. So yeah, they definitely could. Yeah, and more in my head, it looks like young Dennis Richards. And when she was described, you know, it was the face that popped up in my head. I have no fan casting of anyone there. You know, I would love everyone to look like Henry Cavill, but there was no clear Henry when I read it. You know, it has to like click immediately. And she just clicked. And she's gorgeous. So yeah, I would definitely love to be friends with more. And I think
but she then, yet again, I mean, I loved her when she was introduced, but then, first of all that weirdness between her and the two bad boys, and reading about her in Court of Silver Flames, also like she felt, I don't know, bland, out of character, kind of. She wasn't the girl I would die to hang out with her when I met her in the Court of Mist and Fury, when she actually barged into the Supreme Court and grabbed Feyre into her arms and took her away. And I would love to like see more
Yes.
of her badassery, and I didn't get. Maybe I was like, I was so hyped up by these couple of scenes in the beginning, then I had like really high expectations, and they kind of fell short.
Yeah, for the character development and everything, we
Yeah.
could go much deeper and get to know her much better. But maybe in the next books, like, because I think there are a couple of secrets, and they also, let's not forget.
Oh, let's not forget about her secret farm with horses. I mean,
Yeah, and what's her, like, her power is...
yeah, on it. Okay. Talking about this, what the hell is power of truth?
I was thinking that she can say, like, if anyone is lying, but I never saw her actually using that, so I have no idea what the power of truth is.
I mean, can she... In the scene when they are for the first time gathering with the queens, she says, like, I am Morrigan and I am telling the truth because truth is my power. So is it like she cannot tell a lie? Also, how is she pulling off that bullshit with Azriel if she cannot really lie?
Yeah, that's not just that, but with her father and with the Court of Nightmares. Like, she's there and pretending, to be such a badass, and angry and I don't know what, and I
so
don't
yeah, this is something that really... Sarah, you better address that shit in the next book or anytime soon because it's just driving me crazy.
And not just that, I think it's a hot topic among us readers, like, what the hell is the power of truth? So I think, like, that she can be really interesting, and also let's not forget, they mentioned there, she's the Morrigan. What does it mean? The Morrigan.
The Morrigan? I don't know. It's like the Madonna.
No, I think there is something more in that because
Morrigan is actually like
she's a goddess in some mythology.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Celtic.
Celtic. Yeah.
And then she's part of the mythology. She is. I'm not really sure if she's deity or something related with ability to influence or predict the result of the battles. I believe we can actually Google it. But and actually, yeah, obviously that was the first thing I did when I started wonder like what the hell is Mor's power? Like, okay, Morrigan, I'm gonna Google it and figure out like read about that. Mythology, and maybe I will get some hints because like usually that's what Sarah does, like she's reusing different mythologies and weaving it into her stories, but there is nothing. I mean, like there might be like some minor details she used, but I wasn't able to pinpoint that. So yeah, if anybody has kind of like more information on that, please let us know. We are dying to know.
Yeah, so yeah. And I mean, like, there was another female character from the inner circle we haven't talked yet about Amren.
So yeah, what do you think about Amren?
She's so weird. Like, girl. She's like this sort of spirit or something, creature, trapped in a fey body, right? Mm-hmm. And she's deadly, and everyone is scared of her. But she loves jewels, She like to
she's a dragon. She's a dragon.
Yeah, and the way she's talking, girl, it's just like. It's so in contrast, how they're describing her, who she is, whether compared to like how she looks like, because she looks like tiny woman
she's like tiny
with the black hair, she's this
petite,
cutie,
very like a frail, small person.
I actually like this, but then again, like when she talks and everything, I feel like I wouldn't be scared of her, She doesn't sound scary, even though everyone is scared of her.
Like there are some instances, like for example when Hybern's ravens infiltrate the library and try to steal or take away Nesta and Feyre, and then says to Feyre like Amren is taking care of the other possible threats and infiltrators in Velaris. And he says everybody is on lockdown that night because Amren is prowling the city and she's on the hunt. And also he says one thing, that people kind of like paint their doors with the lamps black. In Christian religion, there is this story like how Moses got all the Jewish people out of the Egypt, and God is sending like 7 plagues to plague the people in Egypt to kind of let the slaves go. And one of the plague is actually this really unexplained plague that actually prowls house like the city at night and kills the firstborn in each house unless they mark the doorway with the lamb's blood. And at some point Amren is addressed like she is a messenger for a very young wrathful god. So maybe
Oh my god.
if we take a look deeper into Christian religion, maybe we can figure out like who the hell Amren is based on.
But it's actually interesting when you said a young, wrathful God. And when you see, Old Testament versus New Testament. New Testament is only in Christian religion. But Old Testament is also in Jewish religion. And in Old Testament, God is completely different guy.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
He kind of changes, from this like I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna like if you don't listen to me or if you don't, do stuff I tell you to do. I mean, like and then in New Testament he's
all
like
about
hippie.
Law. Yeah. Jesus, a total hippie there for me.
Yeah, like he loves everyone. He's forgiving everyone. He's not trying to kill anyone. So yeah, there's a character development there in the Bible. Oh my god, so many people are gonna hate us for this. But they're like, there's a fact, right? It's completely different, Old versus New Testament. So maybe really she was referring to God in our realm, because they're different realms.
Yeah. And also, she uses a lot of this angelic character in Crescent City, right? Where angels are actually... I don't think
they're
it's a
not
spoiler.
the nice people.
Yeah, but they are created by Asteri.
Yes.
Who are gods. Mm-hmm. Well, technically God also created angels. Mm-hmm. They were serving him as a messenger, so...
Twisting a little bit the stories.
So, my question is there a way Amren's home world is Midgard?
Well, that's possible. Or our Earth. I mean, like, she was here in Egypt.
Yeah. So yeah.
She saw pyramids and stuff.
And this is the thing Sarah J. Maas has amazing ability to introduce characters and like her character development is really something I admire and fall for every
amazing.
time. Mm-hmm. She is pretty okay, but I don't think world building is her best suit. But what I love, she actually takes these small things like this lamb blood and weaves it into the story. And especially since I am rereading the books, I'm picking up on more stuff, and it's like, oh my god, look at this! This little detail, this breadcrumb means something.
Yes. Yeah, when you reread it, it starts making more
and more sense.
Yeah, that's because it's giving you the meaning back.
But Amren.
Amren is a really interesting character. And also, she has this weird relationship with Nesta. She's actually the only one who kind of wants to be, friend with her.
I don't think, Amren wants to be friend with anybody. She is kind of offering to mentor her because she... I mean, they have,
She sees a little bit herself in
Yeah, definitely.
So there's something in Cauldron which is actually... something bad, something evil, something...
There are similarities in their behavior. Both of them are very direct. They give zero fucks. They can be direct to the point. They are very offending to other people.
Oh, really? Never say it because I was ever offending anyone.
And maybe for some reason it's maybe because I like Amren a bit more than Nesta. It may be because I have less information about Amren, so I'm kind of putting in my own ideas and building the character around that. But I don't mind Well, I mind less Amren being an asshole than Nesta being an asshole.
Yes.
Because with Nesta being an asshole, you are introduced to her being an asshole in a setup where Feyre, poor darling, she's doing all the hunting and feeding the family of 4, while Nesta does what?
Nothing. But, you know...
She's bitching around. She's just like, really, it takes a lot of time to being resident bitch.
That's true. And I mean, like, you know, she had this redemption arc, but at the end, like, you know, we understood, like, her inner workings and everything. I know it was difficult, and everyone is dealing differently with trauma and everything, but still, it was kind of, like, really weird to me to even connect with that. And also, a very interesting thing about Nesta I found there, she saw the only solution, how she could contribute, you know, when Feyre was away, or, like, how she only cared about Elain. The only thing I can do, I'm gonna sell myself on streets. Okay, yeah, this is gonna sound so weird from my side, you know, because I didn't experience it, and some people will find it insensitive or something, because, like, really, yeah, I don't have that experience that she had, but I don't really think there was any other option than just selling herself for herself.
There were options.
I think that there might have been some other options, you know, like, it would be... What
I don't know, you can like roll up your sleeves, go clean somebody's house.
Yeah, I mean, like, she was capable, she was pretty, she was healthy, and it would be the last thing I could think of. But then she was not growing up in a situation like this. You know, she was a daughter of extremely rich merchant, right? Like, she was his princess. And then you are in poverty and everything. But I mean, you are smart. There is no, like, you know, it's different.
Honestly, yeah, I find it kind of insulting towards Nesta intelligence that the only thing she could think of was kind of like going prostituting herself out to help the family.
Yeah, because I mean, like, she was.
I mean, girl, you are smarter than that.
Yeah, I mean, she was not growing up in some generational poverty. You know, when there's this only thing you see, you know, like, because, well, there are parts of the world and situation like your mom is prostitutes, you are growing up to be one, you know, it's just like, it's hard to break the cycle, you know, but she's not that. That's not her story. She's smart, she's educated, you know, she had this completely different lifestyle. She's now in poverty, and she's not using her brain to figure out, like, some other way. And then also, like, what about the guy she found, you know, she wanted to marry? I mean, like, you are smarter than that, you know. I think she didn't need Feyre to tell her, like, oh, by the way,
don't marry this guy because he's kind of, like, not good for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, because in that part she sounds to me like she's not really smart. She's like, like, the fuck, you know, like, she like, you didn't see that? I mean, like, you live in the same village, like, how many people live there?
Yeah.
I mean, and people are gossiping, people are talking, you see, you have eyes, you know who has, you know, you see what's going on there.
Yeah.
And you know the reality, like, you really want to put yourself there. It just didn't make any sense, because then we learned that she's very smart, you know? She's smarter than Feyre. Putting it down there, you know? So that's kind of weird for me.
Yeah. I feel like originally neither Nesta or Elain, when we meet them and when Sarah was writing them in the Court of Thorns and Roses, were supposed to play a bigger part. And that's why these things happen. Like, the same with Morrigan, the same with a lot of characters. And I recently read somewhere on the Reddit, and I can link that discussion somewhere as well. Sarah herself said, like, readers would be very surprised about how little I plot things. And I'm like, no, Sarah, I'm not surprised. I can see that. We can all see that. I
mean, like, maybe here, but in turn, Throne of Glass, I think that it was, like, really thought through. Here it felt less thought through.
I feel like she put much more thought into developing that world rather than this one. On the other hand, yet again, this is more about spice and relationships, while the Throne of Glass is, for me, more like that epic fantasy with romantic subplot.
So what we were talking about?
Amren.
Yeah, so we got from Amren to Nesta. But about Amren, I have one more thing I want to say. You know, in the scene, like, in Cauldron, you know, she actually became the plague. and she killed off everyone. And that's like, she basically sacrificed herself and she died. But then Rhysand died. Took her back. And it's just like, we knew that like somebody's gonna save Rhysand, and then even Tamlin gave his, power, even though he hated him and everything, But like that, bringing back Amren, it's just, for me, it just didn't make sense. I mean, like, it just didn't. I mean, not that I don't like the character, but I think it would better fit if she died.
I absolutely agree. And what also infuriates me is that she goes and saves the character that doesn't really make much sense to be saved from the plot point.
Mm-hmm.
And then she does nothing with Amren in Court of Silver Flames.
No. She
Like,
just
there is, like,
fights with Nesta, and then
honestly, I think like book would get much better
if she died.
if Amren wasn't there for Nesta, because I could understand a bit more, because Amren is there and could act as a mentor to Nesta, because she seems to be like only person who Nesta listens to. And if you kind of remove that option at all, you understand like there is nobody who can reach out to Nesta and nobody who can help her, because Nesta like completely shuts down. Mm-hmm. Instead, we have Amren, who is also acting a little bit like a little bitch. She is. And well, I don't really mind her being direct and asshole in rest of the books, because it kind of makes sense, if it makes sense. It doesn't make sense at all to be such an asshole in Court of Silver Flames. So why bring back a character that is not used at all in further plot?
I don't know, maybe she's gonna have her own book, stories with
and you get a book,
court.
and you get a book, and you get a book. Everybody gets a book.
Yeah, maybe there's gonna be more development to her, but yeah, it's just like, it would make more sense to me if she was killed off in that book. This seemed a little bit too Disney to me. Just basically, she was safe to run to the summer court prince.
Yeah, but again, Sarah has real issues killing off her characters.
Yeah, but I mean, we're thankful for that after all, because
on the one hand, because the thing is, I really liked Amren until that point.
But in the last book, like all of them were behaving so strange. I mean, Rhys, like my Rhys, was suddenly like, I couldn't stand him. He was so annoying, like, oh, I'm gonna kill everyone who hurt my, my wife, and he was such a bitch, he was so...
But the thing is, we have all these books written in Feyre's point of view, so
he's gorgeous, so maybe he's not such a nice guy. Maybe I fell in love with Rhys for no reason.
Now you have to go and find a new...
Maybe I'm gonna go to Tamlin after we finish the therapy.
So but still, this could be explanation why a lot of characters behave in the different way, because we are getting different point of view.
So, and I mean, let's go to the last book and the superstar Nesta. So, I mean, Nesta is one of those side characters you cannot stand at the beginning. And she's special because sometimes you cannot... She's kind of a person you cannot stand even at the end. Unless you're a huge fan. But then again, we learned like why she's doing that. And she had like huge character development and huge... Yeah.
She got the wingspan to match her character development.
Yes, it's true. And I mean, like, poor Cassian, after Cauldron, she was shielding him, and he thought that they are dying, and he had told her all those words, like, in the other world, another world, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna find you in every world, and we're gonna have that time. He loved her, like, you feel the love going through his words, and then suddenly cold. Like you put a cold shower, like, with ice and everything, and I'm like, wait, like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, you have to, go back a couple of pages, like, did I skip something?
Yeah, I mean, like, even,
what the fuck just happened?
Basically, in this little book, I was already like, what?
And by this little book, we are talking about Court of Frost and Starlight.
Yes, like, he bought her a gift, and she was avoiding him and everything, and I know that, again, she had trauma, and we are trying to be understanding. But man,
One
seriously.
thing about Cassian, the gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so angry when he actually threw the gift to the river.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't fucking throw away books! You don't
No.
disrespect books. You don't write into books. You don't highlight books. Like, you don't physically change the books. You have to protect the books. And that's just my pet peeve, so yeah, sorry. Rant over. And then
Yeah.
he got her
iPod.
iPod.
Everything. She got the first iPod. That was
I
that
don't
was
like
very
it.
thoughtful.
That it was, but for some reason,
She didn't give him anything. Well, she kind of did.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it was so weird, all these her avoiding him and then still like
Yeah, like actually, you said that hot and cold approach. It's something like I have really huge problem to understand. And maybe it's because I'm built in completely different way, and I don't know. But maybe it is some of the ways of dealing with stuff, and it's normal human approach. Like some people deal with the relationship in that way. It's just like something. It's so far from my way of dealing with things. I really cannot relate.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things is there like out of our way of dealing with things. I mean, like if really these books were written about us, where we are the main characters, it would be this long. And I mean, because we would solve it immediately. Like cut the bullshit,
Or
who got time for that?
Yeah, but probably also we would get killed really.
Yeah, like on page
Early
one,
on, before any sex could happen. Like, oh.
Yeah, you killed over.
You would go hunting out in the winter, but like I would freeze it to death, and that would be over in the first chapter.
like me
I wouldn't
hunting,
even
come
get to
on.
the killing poor Andras.
No, I would kill myself, while I'm like... So, yeah, that's why we are not the heroines in this book.
And there were like really some wonderful moments, like when she danced with Eris.
Oh, yes.
I really like that. She had like a lot of, and I love the female friendship going on between her, Gwen, and Emery.
Yes.
That was very, very nice. I feel that was what actually helped her to heal, and I appreciate Cassian being there and his huge ding dong. I mean,
That was a healing.
not complaining at all, but that's not what got her out of that depression.
Yeah, no. Like,
That
she
was
had
like
a long journey.
her girls there.
Yeah.
And the house and
And the house was very nice.
I want to have a house like that.
Oh my god, I would move tomorrow.
yeah.
Really, like I need vacation.
I
House of
I wouldn't even mind those 1,000 stairs. Like, honestly, I live on the 5th floor with no elevator. I feel like I'm already halfway there. I could do it, like occasional walk down and up and down the stairs.
But isn't it interesting? Like everyone hates House of Wind. Well, they are mentioning it there. Like they don't like it. Nobody wants to live there, but Nesta loves it, and it loves Nesta back. So they have like these people who are kind of
They are exchanging
away.
smut books.
Yes. Yeah, and I really admire Kessin for like giving his hand all the time, right? Like trying to help her out, because I was just like be like, okay, not interested. But then again, he knew that they are mates, so maybe that's why it was like so worth trying so much, even though she was like really treating him very bad. And then,
And then she was treating him very good.
So that was like really interesting, and so and she really like came out a really different person at the end, like she showed her humanity. Yeah, I think that she's not the worst, like no.
Definitely,
we kind of forgave her a
they
lot.
were much worse character than us.
Yeah. Well, we kind of learned like why she's like she is, and she turned out to be a badass Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah,
Thumbs up for that.
I mean, I'm all for that girl power energy. I love that part, but I was taking out of that. Yes, Queen Slay when actually they got abducted and they were thrown into that right, to actually go and survive. And they were, I mean, you have bunch of physically strong male training their entire life, like it's part of their fucking DNA, the training and all the stuff to go and survive and try to climb that fucking mountain. Yet in hundreds of years, only 3 people do it. Conveniently, our bad boys. And then you have like 3 women that spend like a couple of months training and doing mindfulness exercises. And they can do it.
I mean, apparently, maybe we can do that too, but we don't have like every day 2 hours with Cassian and Azriel.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing.
Maybe that's the reason, like if I had every day 2 hours with Cassian, I would work out, trust me.
And the cardio.
And the cardio after that. Yeah, and I mean, then when we're already talking about sisters and Archeron, there is the third one, Elain, and I don't think there is much we know about her.
Yeah.
We know that she's like this, like, gentle flower at the beginning. That's how she's described, and then we found out that she actually have little horns. That she's not like as naive as the sisters think she is. But still, I think that we didn't get enough of her, and I think the next book is gonna be very much about her.
Yeah,
and
I hope so. I'm really looking forward to learn more about it. First, we get Feyre, and her strength lies in her.
Well, she is also physically strong.
She also
they believe she's smart.
I think like the biggest strength with Feyre is her kindness. Actually,
that's true. Actually,
like her kindness and her. I mean, like she really wants to help everyone, and kind of like really the mental resilience of Feyre is admirable. Then we have Nesta, where her strength is her will. And also her wit. I think like she's the smart one.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward and learn about another female strength, which is that one where you are actually tending to a garden and being maybe not the strong one in your stereotypical way. Not physically, not maybe intellectually, or. But there is I believe there is different kind of strength, and I'm really looking forward to see more about that.
Yeah, I'm also very curious because like in these books, like she looks a little whiny. Yeah, again, trauma, I get it. and just like I was waiting for something, but then I know that it's coming. I think we're gonna get a lot of Elain, and there is something we don't know yet. I think about her. And we're gonna be surprised. I can feel it in my bones. Like we were surprised from Nesta. We're gonna be surprised from Elain too. So I'm looking forward to that. And speaking of Elain, so who do you think she's gonna end up with?
So she's made it Lucian. I mean, and I like Lucian. He's smart. He's witty. I would definitely wanna like him being my buddy. But every time I read about interaction between Azriel and Elain,
well, there is something going on.
Something clicks for me, like how, and it again. I think like this is like intentionally.
Sorry, I'm just jumping there, but we are finding an answer to a question: who's gonna tend her garden? Is that to say?
So yeah, I can absolutely imagine Azriel gently tending her garden, and then go freaky.
Yeah, that's what we were told. That he's freak there. But in my mind, there are actually 2 more contestants. One is Tamlin because of his spring court and all the gardens.
Well, he can tend to a garden.
He can tend to, but then again, he had her sister. I don't know. It would be kind of weird. I don't know. When you think about the arrangement, it would be like, oh, your sister was a little bit different. The sound she made. So, well, that's kind of something, but maybe it would be interesting to explore this kind of relationship. I'm all for it. And then, let's not forget, in Autumn Court, we have one more contestant called Eris. And I really, we got from the book that he might not be the bad guy, you know. He might be
he
pretending.
definitely is not a bad guy.
He might be like Reese, you know, like having this image, but he might be like a little bit, you know.
And there is definitely something more about the story with him and more.
Yes, I wanted to read that. You know, I was just like hoping, like, you know, like get it out of him. And I think Cassian was asking him, right? And then he was like, I'm not the, or Azriel was that, and he was like, no, you're not the person I have to explain myself to.
Yeah, and he said like there were bigger forces in play when all the things happened. So
Yeah.
I'm really interested in those forces.
Yes, we want to know. Like, I really have to know. So, but I think that Ares could actually be the one to sway away a little Elain Archeron.
I haven't thought about it, and I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so Elain can be actually a huge surprise. And also, it was a really peace solution if his half brother.
Oh my
ended
god!
up with his
Oh, so much potential for shit stirring and drama. Oh, I like that. I mean, I had my unhinged ship for Ares, but I think I like him with Elain.
Yeah, and who did you think Ares might end up with? Azriel.
Imagine, this is like perfect enemies to lovers. And I came across this ship somewhere on the Reddit, obviously. And at first like, okay, that's just interesting thought. But more I think about it, the more intrigued I get. Because imagine that, like, it's yet again perfect enemies to lovers, right? And I'm missing this part of representation in the book, like looking deeper in a relationship between two males. And there is like really this huge conflict between Azriel and Ares, and there is obviously more being in the middle of that conflict. And
yeah, maybe that's when he would leave Morrigan to do whatever she wants. Yeah. I was like, I have Ares already. I would like that, and I want Sarah to get graphic. Let's just not script those relationship like that, you know, like, oh, you know, they are together and like, I want to read that.
I want to read that as well. So yeah, while I really... Okay, this presents a possible problem and interesting solution because I really like Elain and Azriel. And I really like...
obvious choice. I don't want it to happen, actually.
I know. But listen. And I really like Ares and Azriel. And you just actually came up with really interesting ship, which is Ares and Elain. So...
And Azriel together.
and imagine... like,
we would get the polyamory we are looking for.
Yes.
Maybe. Yes.
And it would be fucking perfect.
And if Sarah doesn't write it, maybe we can write it. You know, as a form of fan fiction.
Yeah.
Maybe there is already.
I think that. Well, why decide when you can have it all?
Yes, right. Like little Elaine. Imaginations. Yeah, and see, actually in this book, you know, like when Nesta was mentioning she had like a few threesomes, and she said, "Oh, what would Elaine think about it?"
And Elaine is there. I mean,
Elaine is actually living it.
Elaine is not thinking at all. She's living the shit.
And you know what I like about these books? Well, definitely like those who are into patriarchal society, they are so much looking into like, oh, she has to be a virgin, you know, the Morrigan line. But those women, they don't care. You know, they don't take it that seriously, and I like that. That is, you know, and I like that when they are with the guy, they are supposed to be, they are not virgins anymore. So we can have the epic scenes, you know. It's not the awkward
because,
scene.
like, your first time, it's not epic.
Yeah,
it's anything but epic.
I mean, like, I'm glad that like they're not making big deal of it because I think it shouldn't be make such a big deal of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it actually can cause you a lot of problems, you know, and because it's still like playing in your subconscious mind. I shouldn't do this. I'm like this, blah blah blah. Like you have all the stigma around that. You feel guilty and God knows what, and it's just like it's even bringing up some psychosomatic issues and disorders for you, you know, like so. I'm totally against that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that it's in these books. It's like really, you know, they not taking this seriously. I mean, like Elaine, she was supposed to marry the guy before, but now she has like open garden to anyone to tell. And you know, actually, I have one thing why I don't think she should end up with Azriel. Where, you know, I think we mentioned it in the past episode, but when Nesta during the birth scene. You know, she kind of fixed Feyre, fixed herself to accommodate later maybe another baby with wings so they don't die. She didn't fix Elain. And I think that's, I mean, like, of course she didn't know about the relationship, probably, you know, she was too busy with her issues to notice something so blatantly obvious. But if she's not fixed to have a Illyrian, half Illyrian baby, then I don't think she will end up having.
Or she could and go like, oh, let's do the childless thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
see
like
there-
you may, and this is me just thinking about other possibilities. But I think you make really really strong points. So okay, so if Elain doesn't end up with Azriel because this is foreshadowing that she won't end up with him, she could go with Aerys. She could go with Lucian, but Aerys.
I don't know. I don't feel the illusion.
Okay, so who would, if anybody, like if everybody gets a mate or at least a partner, or like who would you pair up with Azriel?
He has to end up alone. I don't think that everyone has to have one.
Poor shit.
I mean, like, he can. But listen, they're for 500 years single, and suddenly, in like span of few years, they're all getting mates. It's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, that is.
And maybe he will end up with Tamlin. Tamlin is single too, you know. He's sad. You know, Azriel doesn't have allergies. But then again, I think that if Azriel has the biggest wingspan and I don't
Maybe
think
like
he
there
can-
is nobody
I
who would
don't
fit.
think, I don't think he could handle a male, you know, because of the biology of human or Illyrian or Fey body.
I don't know. Like we don't have that much information on Illyrian.
I mean, like,
Anatomy.
okay, man, like, let's go into our biology and let's assume they have similar biology. You know, vagina is plastic. You know, basically, it can move.
I
get
mean,
bigger
it can
and-
like you can push through it a baby.
Yeah. So yeah, then Cassian is kind of there is a possibility.
I mean, do you want to go through a birth every night with Cassian?
No. Let's not go there. Yeah, but then you're thinking about your intestines. They're not flexible like that. You know, they can go little,
But not that much.
not that much, and you can actually cause yourself a lot of injuries. You know, so I don't really think it's safe for him to have a homosexual relationship. I think it would be extremely painful for the other male, unless he's the bottom guy. Then it will be fine.
Okay.
Then we solved it. Man.
We have Lucian. So
Lucian. Well, he has this threesome relationship with Tyrion and Vasa. I think that he will end up there. I think he's having fun there.
okay. And what about our poor boy Tamlin down on
Well,
the
we
spring
already
court?
gave him Aerys, but Tamlin has to be the top. Oh no, we gave him Azriel. We gave him Azriel.
Ah,
And he's
yeah.
the top guy.
Okay.
Then-
So
then-
is there anybody else left? Morgan?
Maybe Emery, because she was blushing when she saw her.
Yeah.
Well, like, let's not forget Gwyn.
Yeah.
Gwyn can end up with someone.
Well, there was something going on. Like there is some chemistry between Gwyn and Azriel, right?
That could be possible.
But we already kind of.
She cannot have Illyrian baby.
I think I picked
But there
up
might
on
be
some-
new characters.
Yeah.
Because there are always new characters, so like we shouldn't like focus on this. Maybe there's somebody gonna come up. Yeah, and we forgot about Tarkin. He's still single.
No, we did not. I kind of like saving Tarkin for myself.
Well, what your husband is gonna say about that?
He's gonna join us. Yeah, I think like there, and again I read on Reddit an opinion that maybe Gwyn would end up with Tarkin because Gwyn is part like water nymph or something, and Tarkin has
See, so she can like play with water, splash around.
that. So that would be also interesting pairing. Like, but honestly, like, not everybody has to end up in a relationship.
No, they don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect Disney. I mean, like, I'm totally happy if they don't, because the other, it's like open end, the other person can come up late. It's weird that they all get a match immediately. So.
When you said open, I was just like, what if Rhysand and
Feyre
Feyre had opened their marriages? Like, who would they would take in Cassian for sure.
No, they cannot. Nesta won't let it. And she won't share with her sister. Come on, she's not that friendly with Feyre. Do you think that she will share?
No, but I like the Cassian there.
Yeah, maybe they will open the relationship, but then I think they will keep Darkin in. Go on.
Helion.
But Helion is into the trio.
But I think like Helion will take anything.
Yes, Helion is. Yeah, I like the character.
Now I think I know where Bryaxis went.
See, girls having fun in a different court. Yeah. So let's go to our favorite part. So, who would you kiss, marry, or kill?
I would kiss Azriel.
Yeah.
And not because of the wingspan.
We're talking just about kiss right now. Or do you want to go deeper in that? Further, Yes, you would.
I was just like, yes, I would, but then again, I'm trying to kind of calculate the logistics.
Well, let's imagine, like as Nesta, she thought that it eventually might fit. So, like, think about it. It's gonna fit.
If it's gonna fit, I'm gonna wear him like a glove. So yeah, I would kiss Azriel.
Yeah. Well, then if we are counting on fitting, I'm going for Cassian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cassian sounds
okay.
well.
Who would you marry?
Oh man, I would say Rhys if it doesn't go, insane like later in the last book.
When you're pregnant?
Well, pregnant. I mean, like, come on, I wouldn't deal with that shit. But Rhys, I like Rhys.
Yeah. Also, there is a good thing he's like financially taken care of, and you don't have to really.
Yeah, plus he's paying you salary and giving you everything. I mean, like, okay.
Yeah, I think Rhysand is a strong contender, but my boy Tarkin. I mean,
yes.
he's such a good person. He is. I mean, he wants the lesser fairies to kind of like become proper part of. Yeah. And I like that in the man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there is... honestly, there are, like, zero red flags around him.
No,
like,
no.
And, oh my god, and I read this funny thing on Instagram, like, Tarkin is a kind of man, like, if he knew that Feyre is triggered by color red, he would, like, say, like, I'm sorry, I sent you rubies, here are sapphires instead. This is the kind of man I am.
And I'm still gonna kill him.
You're like, I'm angry at you, but here's sorry about the rubies. I didn't know here are sapphires.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind him to be, put that wish on me. It's not like,
you can hand me all you want, send me the jewels.
And who would you kill?
Ianthe.
Yes, that's a good point. Ianthe is very strong contender.
Like, you don't mess with my boy Lucian.
No.
You don't mess with my boy Rhysand. Like, she's...
Yeah, I hate her. I would kill Amaranta.
Yeah,
Yeah, because, she hurt my boy Rhys.
Yeah. Your husband.
My husband and my other boys, She also hurt Tarkin.
Yeah.
She hurt all of them. So, yeah. No. Amaranta, you're going down. Down. Okay. So now, let's see. So, would you hook up with Tamlin or Aerys if you could
Aerys.
Yeah.
He's so... intriguing. There is something about, and I don't have like issues with ginger people.
I don't know. I am actually interested in both of them. I think that Aerys is more interesting. I think Tamlin has a lot of potential. He just needs to. But I mean, like okay, it's a question about hookup. It's not a question about relationship.
It's just like,
but we know what Tamlin can do. That's why I'm still, like rooting for the guy. But Ares seems like so. I don't know. I have a hard time. But for a hookup, I think I would go with Tamlin. Yeah, because I already know.
He would bring you flowers, roses.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't care about those. Would you rather look into Ouroboros mirror or steal a ring from a weaver cottage?
That is a tough question. I mean, I'd like to think I am fairly okay with who I am, but I don't think I'm physically fit enough to pull off the heist in the Weaver's cottage. So probably I would go for the Ouroboros mirror.
Me too. But also because I already think the worst things about myself.
With your tendency to overthink everything and
I mean,
go through the worst scenarios.
Like, it's not so bad. I thought it's worse, And in Feyre, she made it seem very easy.
Honestly, it's kind of like, okay, it's one of the things I'm really like. Honestly, why? Ouroboros mirror is known to, nobody can claim it because everybody who looks into the mirror goes crazy. First of all, how did Mor's family, what was his name? Care. First of all, how did Care got the mirror, right? But anyways, somehow. I don't know, family, heirloom, whatever. But it's, there is a huge hype around that. And Feyre almost... skips the option to bring Bone Carver into the battle because it seems so impossible to get that mirror. And then she looks into mirror and it's done. And it's like, okay, shouldn't this be like a bit harder? And I see this pattern, like she can catch Azriel 3 times. Okay, 2 times. The 3rd time, Azriel walk into that.
I think that he's already letting her, after the first time was like, yeah, I'm gonna show up for you.
Yeah.
So
And I'm like, okay, there is this reoccurring thing, like Feyre does things that are impossibly difficult. She does it like that, right? Yeah. But with Ouroboros mirror, it's just like, it felt so anticlimactic to me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wanted something to happen, and it was funny. Like when she actually gave Reese this picture she painted, and she painted herself, how she saw herself in Ouroboros, mirror. I was like, oh, that's such a beautiful. She said that she saw their creatures and it was disgusting and anything. And, oh, you're so beautiful.
Because Rhysand sees everything about Feyre and loves her.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so would you rather give soup to Rhysand or Cassian?
Rhysand.
Yeah, me too.
You too? Why Rhysand?
I don't know. I like him. Cassian. He's he's a nice guy, and he's like extremely strong and everything. But he's like a little bit wicked, He's like, I like that part of him, he's more funny and he's more, I like that he has something extra, to his character.
I see, but on top of that, when I'm sad, Rhysand would go and take me shopping for lingerie or books or whatever. Cassian would take me hiking, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather stay home.
I'm like, what the fuck? So, okay. So, and if you should choose a court where to live, which one would it be?
So we have spring, summer, autumn, winter, night, day, and dawn. Why am I kidding? Summer, because Tarkin.
Okay, but if you take Tarkin out of the picture,
still summer.
It would be still summer.
Still summer, I guess. I'm like very much summer girl.
Yeah, I think so too. I like summer. But then again, it's like sometimes, but they have a sea, so who cares if it's hot all the year? Yeah, I definitely, I know that definitely I wouldn't go for winter.
I mean, I like winter, but I like to watch winter from behind.
From the
window.
cottage, you mean?
Yeah, from the cottage or something.
Yeah. I don't know, I would like warm weather whole year, but then again, I like also,
reasonably. Okay, with reasonably warm, you can either go for spring or autumn.
But in autumn, it can be also rainy. I love autumn so much. It can be very, very rainy autumn. And like autumn forever, it would be like too much. spring forever with, I think, maybe night court or day court or dawn court. You know, they have all four.
Well, the dawn court actually could be really interesting. I mean,
We haven't heard much about it.
Well, the High Lord meeting took place in the dawn court, and like everybody, we saw like just a really little bit, but there was a lot of splendor, right? The castle, the place was really beautiful, and Pharaoh was like, "Hey, we have to redecorate."
Yes.
So yeah, possibly. And they have peregrini. What was the word for? They have these soldiers with the wings that like
Peregrines
or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Peregrines.
That would be interesting.
You like those winged men?
I mean, I'm millennial after 30. Bird watching is obviously my thing.
So thank you very much for listening to the High on the Bookshelf podcast with Barb and Simi.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can rate and follow this podcast and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We're also on Instagram, so follow us on bookshelf_pod.
See you next time.
Bye.